Hey everybody. So I did my case study on the off-campus search, and it was where students were informed that drugs and alcohol would be banned in overnight field trips, and the principal was walking the halls of the hotel and noticed the smell of marijuana. So the question is, does the principal have the right to search the student's room? And the answer to that is yes. Even on school-sponsored field trips, principals are given, and leadership or faculty in general still have to just simply apply the reasonable suspicion clause. So ultimately, the smell of it is enough to justify a suspicion that upon a search they would turn up something that is not only against school policy but is against the law. It also has to do with in loco parentis. So ultimately, if there is a room full of say four middle school kids and you're there as the lead administrator, it is your responsibility to protect them, sometimes even from themselves. I think the question on can the principal legally request the hotel personnel provide him access to each student's room? Again, the answer to that is yes, absolutely, because again, these are minors, and the clause that you are ultimately serving as their parental form, as signed by parent permission slips, is enough to justify entrance in that. Now, I would certainly recommend as an administrator that you take someone else with you. Something similar actually occurred to me when I went on the Washington, D.C. trip with our eighth graders last year. And ultimately, I don't know if it's a state law or if it's just our district. I haven't checked it yet, but we are required to take a school nurse with us. So anytime there was suspicion like that, I simply asked her, and since this was a room full of boys, I asked one of our male faculty members to go in with us. It was not confrontational. It was, we have suspicion. We just want to check on this. And it actually turned out very well. And then immediately following, we called the parents, told them why we were searching. This one wasn't for marijuana, and I won't go into any more details than that. But nevertheless, the parents were, since they weren't on the field trip, I think just because we had the respect to do it respectfully and then to call them and tell them all about it, that, we really didn't see any problems. It asked here, does inspection of a student's room constitute a breach of student privacy? No, because again, when on a field trip, teachers and administrators have the right to determine with reasonable suspicion if the property needs to be searched or not. And then it says, is the principal justified in punishing guilty students when they are away from school or after hours? Again, not only in your school handbook should it outline what's expected on and off campus, but anytime it's a school sponsored event, it doesn't matter if it's actually on campus or not. I think the biggest thing is just to respect, even if the students have made a mistake and you're going to find exactly what you think you're looking for, they're still kids, and you need to respect to protect the privacy from other people knowing that they were busted. I think the hardest thing for me on the trip was making sure that other parents that were there chaperoning weren't aware of what was going on, so that we didn't end up with a community discussion about what kids were doing. So I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to listening to your posts.